Okay, here's another League of Legends game coming your way, this time with Sivir AD carry.
You've got a problem, I've got a price.
And the wall's down. Okay, line matchups. I'm Sivir, partner with Thresh bot against Caitlyn and Taric. We have Cho'Gath top against Mordekaiser, Kayle mid against Vel'Koz, and Evelynn in the jungle against Lee Sin. So I don't really know too much about how Evelynn jungles anymore. This is the first time I've seen her in Season 5 at all. I guess when you don't see her and you don't hear her, she completely vanishes. Yeah, you can kind of walk over that. With the Mandrake Ward in the works, I guess it's probably going to be even worse for her. I don't know if that will pick her up or not. Anyway, Sivir, your passive is Fleet of Foot. You get movement speed whenever you damage an enemy champion. Q is Boomerang Blade, linear skill shot, has a high AD ratio, but the damage falls off for every target hit, making it meh. W is Ricochet, auto attack modifier. Your next auto attack will bounce to nearby enemies, dealing reduced damage. The amount of damage scales with the rank of the move. Your E is Spellshield, creates a barrier for 1.5 seconds that will block the next incoming attack. If you block something, you get mana back. It's free to use. Your ult is On the Hunt. You get passive attack speed while using your W, and the active effect is a surge of movement speed for you and your allies. And that, folks, is Sivir. One more. Okay, I need to get down here now. I'm probably gonna have to take the Spellshield level 2 for Cait and Taric. If we're not seeing them, okay, I was about to say they're probably in the brush. But Sivir, my most played AD carry in Season 4. From what I understand, damn it, she's been experiencing a resurgence in popularity.
Get paid and get out.
I'm a little nervous about Relic Shield Thrushes because they try to last hit and in the end they just deny UCS.
First blood.
I'm going to take the Spellshield. And the only reason I'm doing it is because of this lane. I need to block Dazzle or Yordle Snap Traps, potentially a Piltover Peacemaker. Whatever it actually is, I'm prepared for it. Ah, she actually clipped me with that. I have a feeling they weren't expecting me to have my Spellshield level 2. But Piltover Peacemaker block, that's a huge chunk of Cait's mana taken out, and for no damage. And to make things worse, it actually gave me mana back. And I'm willing to let Ricochet time out. Damn it. So I do have to watch out for the Dazzle for a moment. Normally in matches like this, I like to go for the Essence Reaver for the CDR for more spell shields. Ooh, good. One Thresh. So I wonder if Cait's getting pissed yet. Sadly, due to the nature of the lane, if I don't go for Essence Reaver, I may need to put a couple extra points into my Spellshield early so that I can get more cooldown reduction on it. I think it goes down like 1.5 seconds every rank. Got all 3.
You can't take the desert.
Sadly, right now I do have to play a little bit defensive while I wait for my Spellshield to come back up.
Heroes go home.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Okay, pretty much denied myself with that last one. Cait's not doing too bad in terms of CS. It looks like she's kind of giving up on hitting me. Shit. Okay, right now I'm in that awkward phase where the minions are powering up, but I've yet to go back for new items.
I make my own fortune. Heroes come in, gold stay.
Sadly, Taric has enough mana for his heal, so trying to poke him down is a bit of a waste of time.
An ally has been slain.
I've got values.
And unfortunately, headshot at times makes it pretty easy for her to last hit.
Another fight. Here, get my cut.
fast. Let's get out of here. Let's grab that. And you know what? Let's go for blood.
You've got a problem, I've got a price.
Sadly, with 68 CS, she can afford the same thing with either boots or the pickaxe. She could go for an extra durance for more lifesteal. It wouldn't really be a bad choice. In a lane where the two of us are trying to poke the hell out of one another, something like that could make a world of difference.
I'll fight for a cause. I won't die for one.
Taric just has the Sightstone, unlike Thresh, who actually has the Targon's Brace. I'm not sure what exactly it was I spell shielded, if anything. But at least I didn't end up wasting my flash. Question is, can Eve take advantage of Lee's pressure on us?
King's coming down. Stay.
Highly doubt we can do anything, but I think they're talking about Cho.
You can't tame the desert.
Okay, that was the dragon, 1245.
The only thing I look up to is the sky.
Putting this into the Ricochet for now. And we have the means to take this. I'm counting on you, Thresh. Don't disappoint me.
Everyone has a price. Get paid and get out.
Caitlyn for the Cloak of Agility. That's odd.
You've got a problem.
Shit, crit. Yeah, not a really good engage, since we were outnumbered to start out with. Let's upgrade this to a vamp. And we may lose the tower here if Lee sticks around. Yes, Thresh, the drawback of being a hero.
Wealth is mankind.
Okay, Eve's gonna save that for us. Go for the minions.
It's not even if they're dead.
That should be good enough. So even though she took a beating, that was the right call. Just a painful one. Hook one.
Executed. Double kill. You have slain an enemy. Your team has destroyed the turret.
On a dull blade.
Let's push out one more wave, since everyone other than Mord is dead and we have eyes on him. I'll call bot a draw.
Heroes, your team has destroyed a turret. Rampage.
I think Kale's too busy owning face for buffs.
I make my own fortune.
And I'm going to hold off picking up a crit item right now because...
Been destroyed.
What's going on down? Ooh. A Master Metal is not doing too bad.
Loyalty isn't earned. It's bought. Not worth my time. Dead.
And right now I just need to wave clear. Yep, intervention OP.
Get paid and get out.
And I wonder if that makes people realize why I enjoy playing Kayle top lane.
Another fight, another feed.
There goes the red buff, sadly.
You've got problems. Got a price.
And I should be able to wave clear this. I just need to hope my teammates can keep the harass to a minimum. Looks like I should just hope my teammates wouldn't die. As long as they're not on the dragon, that's fine.
Your team has destroyed.
You can't tame the desert.
can't help Eve with the tanking, but I can fulfill DPS role. Actually, I could probably spell shield one Dragon Breath Blast, but that would be it. I'm going to push this out, and then I'm going to take off to go by. I need a BF sword, and then I need to start working on my Zeal.
An enemy has been slain.
Honor is the rust on a dull blade.
Okay, from here I will be providing post-game commentary. For various reasons I had to mute my mic, and here we are. So the rest of the Sphere game, let's go. I just picked up the Zeal, I have the components for the Bloodthirster, but I want a little bit of crit on that back. BF Sword, of course, is nice just for making sure that each of my hits are all the more solid. Right there, I wasn't really paying attention, but it doesn't matter. I'm not Misfortune, so stepping in the trap doesn't really cost me anything. I have a little bit of health, which I will regain just like that. So Mordekaiser is going to be a bit of a problem for us here, as you see when he blows Eve the hell up. Our Eve is just kind of behind, and if you need proof of that, watch this boomerang blade cut right through her. That should not happen. But anyway, the big problem Mordekaiser has is that he's still in an awkward spot with this whole magic thing going on. The silence from Cho'Gath is absolutely devastating to him, and since he's like, Riot seems to want to make him into some sort of AP bruiser type thing that I don't even understand what goes through their head most of the time, let alone this one. And he just has way too many vulnerabilities. Without the ability to just nuke someone down, he's in a really, really bad spot. Anyway, as for the Lee Sin right here, I'll get back to more in a second. Kayle backed off. I don't know what made her decide to go off into the jungle, but had she stuck around, she could have killed Lee and taken the blue buff off his dead body. So Mord is one of the characters that I consider to be weaker than normal. I used to like playing him top. I gave him a little bit of time after the whole DFG removal, and the effect where you get movement speed racing towards something marked with the creeping death is kind of neat. You can use it on minions that are incoming to kind of help you survive a gank, but it still leaves so much to be desired, and it only works if the two of you are moving towards one another. So if the minion or the ally are going a different direction than Mordekaiser is, you're not going to accomplish anything. And this whole Mordekaiser thing went on long enough that the guy respawned and came all the way down to bottom. So right here, Thresh is doing everything he can to try to save me, and finally you'll see how things play out. I lost a good chunk of health here, and the Children of the Grave has timed out. Now right here I wanted to spell shield his move to let me live, but he pierced my shield somehow. I don't know what it was that actually killed me, maybe the splash from the Q. But even still, I kind of expected that to have been blocked by the Spellshield. But it's not really the end of the world. I got to pick up the Bloodthirster, which is going to give me a ton of lifesteal. And I went Bloodthirster here because of the Mordekaiser, among other things, where I need the lifesteal. I actually need it more than the mana regen or the CDR from the Essence Reaver. And if you're wondering what's so important about the Mordekaiser thing, it's just that if he marks me with Children of the Grave, I don't want to become a Child of the Grave. I'm one of the more fed people on my team, and letting my stats be used against the team is going to really do a number on us. So the whole point of the Bloodthirster there was just shield and tons of lifesteal. Don't become a ghost, don't take down my towers. But otherwise, the Mordekaiser is the one that we really have to watch out for this game. Up to this point, I've been really spot on with my spell shields, as you may have noticed. Cait in the lane. I can't really explain why Taric never took advantage of stunning me while the Piltover Peacemaker was on cooldown, but maybe he just felt Cait didn't have enough DPS to matter once that was on cooldown. And right here, Kale is in a pretty bad spot. Children of the Grave is applied. She gets to take down Lee, and I end up pulling Mordekaiser over here. As long as I can keep some distance between me and him to keep the creeping death off of me, I'm not in a very bad spot. But right there he got the ghoul on Kale, and the Kale is not too dangerous since Mordekaiser has no access to her spells. Right there I got snared and stunned. Pretty soon you will not be able to do that with Event Horizon, but the other stuff is still fair game, I guess. So right there, Mord fails to connect to anything, and I get to send my Boomerang Blade right down the middle to really do a number on his health and shield. Sadly, my ult is still on cooldown, but well-placed Boomerang Blade means dead shit. And right here, Vel'Koz fails to get Thresh, but the Taric stun does secure the kill on me. I was hoping the return on the Boomerang Blade would be enough to finish off the Beholder, but it wasn't quite enough. So right here, the enemy team has grouped up, and we're going to start throwing away objectives until we meet in retaliation. So right there, he was not paying attention. He was looking over to the right, just let Mordekaiser get away. Still, Kale shows up. She was going for the whole massive split push build and just shreds minions like no tomorrow. Which is really bad news for the enemy team, because between me and Kale we can just really quickly annihilate waves. And it's going to make sieging extremely difficult for them. On one hand, they would have Vel'Koz's massive range, but the other thing is I could use my spell shield to block one of his spells and kind of interrupt his whole intimidation thing. So the next dragon goes down. I was paying attention to see what number that was, and I can't see the number on my screen. Based on the timing, I'd say it's... I'm not gonna venture any guesses. So we're still a bit early in the game to siege. The death timers aren't nearly long enough. You can see when silenced, Mord is very easy to do. Right there, a pretty good Lee-Sin kick ended up connecting to all of us, but the Gem Knight goes down in retaliation. Right there, I was up too close to the front. Once the reinforcements arrived, I had to get out, and if you noticed my HP, had I stuck around for just a little bit longer, that whole disintegration ray would have killed me. So Kale needs the blue. Last time Lee-Sin denied it to her, or denied it from her, and this time he is not really in a situation to do so. Right here I kind of want to lifesteal off things, but Cho also needs to kill stuff to use his carnivore passive. So he was kind enough to let me go ahead and clear all those, and you can see my health bar is much better. And here's one of the parts of the game that I really like. So we saw Vel'Koz go in, but we didn't see him leave. We hit him twice. And right here I was kind of expecting him to just go somewhere else, but he recalls on top of a ward. I see him on the minimap, and I know I can kill him, so pop my ult, interrupt his recall, and then use the Ricochet to finish him off. With him out of the way, it's just me and Kale against the Home Master. And even he knows, don't push his luck. Right there I wanted to bait him in. You can see that I pushed the recall, but I didn't open the shop window because I knew he'd try something. And it cost him his life. Thresh gets the kill for one reason or another, doesn't really matter. He gets the shutdown, which of course will speed up his build. It's not really a bad thing as long as he can invest in team utility, and as a result of him getting the shutdown gold, the entire team can benefit. As for right here, Lee-Sin is in a bit of an awkward spot, but his Q allows him to completely negate the slow, which is one of the things that I really don't like about dashes in the game. The slow stats effect is a joke. almost entirely non-existent, especially with so many characters having gap closers these days. So I'm starting to get a lot of gold here, and unlike Infinite Crisis, when you start reaching amounts like this, they tell you go by. Here, you don't really get a notification. You have to actually look at your gold and say, hey, maybe I should go back. So we're in no position to keep the siege up. I can go ahead, try to clear the wave, rack up a little bit of extra gold, and pick up my last Whisper and maybe even the Phantom Dancer. Since your Ricochet can't actually crit, I'm not sure what's better on Sivir. I have to actually look at the static shiv to see if that may be a worthwhile pick. So right there I pop my ult just to secure the assist because I'm like that. It ends up giving Eve a massive surge of speed, enough to get close enough to Taric to land her slow, but we don't have the ability to follow up on that, and as a result he just goes ahead and takes off. So we're together to actually commence a siege, but the awkward part is we don't have minions. So right there, after a little bit of a flurry, Caitlyn goes ahead and picks up a double, triple, and the quadra. I can't remember who it was that killed Lee. So they were anticipating a surrender here, or maybe Kayle was a little bit upset the Penta was denied. But there is Lee. He goes ahead and eats the Reckoning, he gets the debilitating slow as well as a few swings from her to really take a piece out of his armor. Meanwhile I can come over here and just go ahead and lifesteal up. So I'm in pretty good shape right now. Wish I could say the same about all my teammates. And right here, it's close enough for them to all be up. We should be getting the hell out. I went ahead and landed on a Yordle snap trap while trying to make my getaway, but no golems, Thresh, sorry. But it didn't really matter. The enemy team was in no position to take advantage of me being rooted in place for a moment. And on that one back, I got to finish the last Whisper as well as get the finish the Phantom Dancer and get almost the entire last Whisper. So compared to how I was just a moment ago to now, I am much, much stronger. The little amounts of armor they actually have, I now have the ability to cut through, and the whole reason for the Phantom Dancer is just the enhanced crit. So if I knew ahead of time whether or not each Ricochet hit will charge your static shiv, I may have went that way, but since I didn't know, I didn't go. Right here I didn't want to burn the Spellshield because I needed to block higher impact spells. I go ahead and use my ult so we can get Cho out in one piece. We want to keep him alive because his feast stacks are a little bit annoying to charge up, I'd say. But right here, I have to answer Kayle's kills from earlier with one on Mordekaiser, and then one on Cait. And sadly, Lee flashed. So right there we can see Vel'Koz. I don't know if he has his flash or what, but I went ahead and charged up my stuff. We went ahead and ate the Vel'Koz E. And there goes Vel. And there goes Lee. So he claims his W wasn't working. I don't know if it's just maybe I crit through it. I'd actually have to slow down the clip and look more closely, but I'm not really in the mood to do so. This one's pretty much over anyway. And since I wasn't talking, I'm back to my sarcastic self. As you can see from the whole little dialogue going on. But we went ahead and picked up Baron. With my Infinity Edge and the last Whisper, I can definitely take some pretty big pieces out of it each time. Right there, I went ahead and picked up the free mana from the Yordle Snap Trap, and we can go ahead and secure the dragon. Sadly, I couldn't actually secure that for the team. Anyway, I have another massive amount of gold. We now have Dragon buff, we have the Baron buff. We need to go ahead and wrap up the game. And as you can see by looking at the timer on the video, we are now in the last minute or so, well, minute and a half of the game. As for right here, I was trying to figure out what would actually be the best armor item to get. I'm wondering if the Zerat portal is actually pretty good on AD carries because it does give you healing, it gives you armor, MR. I think you still get the point runner so you can reposition better while on the defensive. So maybe that the portal is pretty good to get when you are on the losing end of some trades, while the Guardian Angel is the go-to item for when you're on the winning side and you have to fear enemy burst. You need to play a bit more to find out. So Eve went in and gave up her ghost, literally. Right here, the exhaust kind of took some wind out of my sails. I had to back off for a moment before I could go back and collect their heads. So, neat stat time. I did 250 more damage to champions than Cait here, which, as you see in the last few seconds of the game, how important those last couple hits were. Cait is going to start getting a lot of damage on champions while I just focus the objectives, because I want to get this game over with. So you can see right there, Cait is zoning them. And I just go ahead and shred the minion wave, try to get our minions on it, as well as stall the other lanes, and we are good to wrap things up. Sadly, our buddy Cait is not going to be that fortunate. Yeah. Severe 80 carry, the hero of light. Oh yeah, thoughts and observations go in the description. I'm the hero of light. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.